Howdy y'all, it's Airgun Sunday. Yeah, I ain't done one in a while, but some guys, local guys, were talking on Facebook. I joined Facebook about a year ago or so. Anyway, belong to a couple Airgun groups, and they were asking about field targets, and some of them don't know what it actually is and what it consists of. So I'm going to try to explain that a little bit today. Now, I am absolutely not an expert on this. I've shot a few matches. I know the rules as of the last time I shot, and I'm going to try to explain those to you. Now, what is field target? Field target is shooting with air guns at resettable targets at unknown distances, and that distance will range from 10 to 55 yards. The particular class I'm going to talk about is hunter field target. It is limited to 20 foot-pounds on the energy for your gun. You can shoot PCP, springers, scoped, open sights, and you would have to look in the rule books and find exactly what you want to shoot. But right now I'm going to be shooting my PCP. It's shooting about 19 foot-pounds of energy. It's a 177, and 177 is the preferred caliber because of the little bit smaller. Just if you're off just a tad bit, gives you that much closer to being able to get a perfect score type thing. So it can be shot with 22s, but I wouldn't even try with 25s. And first of all, 25s are going to have too much power, even a light 25. So anyway, object is to simulate hunting in the field, and you have a few rules to follow. Other than that, it's not that bad. So here is a typical field target. Now this is the cheap Gamo type you can get online, or if you happen to have a local air gun store. I actually bought these at Academy, I think. But basically, you got to hit the center and knock the target down. If you hit anywhere out here and the target don't fall, it doesn't count. Now, to make it harder, obviously that hole is for like at 55 yards. You have these little deals to shrink the hole up. There's the next smaller, and then the next smaller. Now that's the smallest. And usually according to how far the distance is to how big the hole will be. When the person conducting the match sets up the targets, he's the only one that knows the distance to the targets, and he's got it wrote down on a chart. And according to each stage you go to, each lane you go to, has a difficulty rating, and it's like Troy or something like that. I don't remember exactly. I don't understand all of it either, so I'm not even going to get into that. But most of the time you can be shooting on a bucket, a stool, or something, you're allowed that in hunter pistol. Now, if you get into your other classes, you're not allowed to do that. You can only use something like a bum pad. You know, this is not a fancy one. This is just something from local sporting goods store. But you would place that on the ground and you would have to sit on that. I use this. This is a good height for me. And I'll explain to you about that in a minute here. You can use a bucket. You cannot have a back on it. Just one of the rules. What was the other? Oh, bipods. You can use bipods or resting however you can off of your own body. Each stage is going to be a little different. Most of the time you're shooting, like I say, off of a stool with sticks. There's some stages or lanes that will be forced standing offhand or whatever it's called for. So you have to be ready for all those kind of things. I actually carry two of them, because when you walk up to the lane, you can look at the lane and go, okay, I'm going to be shooting downhill or just flat out. Well, the short one might work. Well, then you see, oh, wait a minute, that one's way up there. Well, this is too short. And to be honest, these bogs, this one, they are hard to adjust up and down real easy. They get messed up quick if you're not careful of how you twist them and stuff like that. There's the other better brands that has a little lever on the side and it just slides up and down. If you want to pay the more expensive, you can do that. What else would, oh, the one thing you cannot have is a rangefinder. It's not allowed in hunter field target. So what you have to do is use your parallax adjustment on your scope. And that's why you see the large wheels on a lot of the hunter or the field target guns. The larger the wheel, the more focused you can get at a particular yard. I've actually got a video explaining this, and I'll put a link to it in the description. So if y'all want to watch that. But that's the only method of range finding, is with your scope. So I'm going to get the target set up and show you a little bit of what to do. Okay, so we got the target set up out there, and it's our turn to shoot. Now, when you walk up, there's usually two poles placed on the lane, and you can get anywhere, you know, to the left or the right, you know, but you can't be past the poles. You can't be past them. You have to stay inside of them, and you can't go past them. Now, you may, depending on how it's set up, you may need to shoot the target, you know, over on this side, or then you may have to move over here. Now, what I haven't mentioned is there's two targets per lane. One is near, one is far. Now, like I said, you don't know what distance they are, so you've got to figure that out. Not only do you do that, you have to judge the wind and all those things. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring the camera around behind me so you can see the targets. Okay, so when you walk up to the line, and you're wondering where the target is. You can't see him. Well, you have your string that to reset the target, and you, oh, there he is. You notice he's right out here. Now you have two chances to shoot at him. If you hit him the first time, you don't have to take the second shot. So we're going to get up here. We're going to get good and comfortable. We're going to range find him. And he looks like he's at about 14 yards. So if I look at my dope sheet, I'll know what to hold over. And right now I got the full size hole in it, so it's going to be pretty easy to hit him. I'm not worried about trying to impress anybody shooting the small holes. Alright, so now we're going to shoot the far target. Now let me get the camera set up so you can see that. Let me try to zoom in on him a little bit. Y'all see him there? Now I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this where I'm set up. I may move a little bit. Let me get me a pellet. Now you are actually supposed to be timed on this stuff. You only have X amount of time to shoot. All right, I got to move back over. This tree's in my way. That's why I was saying you can move back and forth so you can shoot around trees or whatever. All right, it's saying probably 34 yards. And as far as my setup, that's almost a dead-on shot. And I missed. What? See? I probably wasn't reading the wind. One more shot. There he is. All right. Now, like I say, I don't remember the scoring exactly. You'd have to look up the rules for that, or you'll be explaining that if you ever go to a meet. All right, I want to move this camera back over again. All right. One of the things to do when you're trying to shoot is both elbows on your knees. Gives you a good solid foundation. And then good cheek weld, all those kind of things. So, it's things to practice, learn, but that is the basics of field target. And like I said, I'm not an expert at it. You can go to, I think it's AATLS or something like that. They have a handbook you can download with all the rules. Pick the class you want to shoot. Majority of the people shoot hunter class. There's a few people that shoot the world field target, and they're limited to different guns and stuff like that. So if you want to try it, you got to figure out what your gun might fit in, the class it might fit in, stuff like that. But if you could get to a match, go to it. It's a lot of fun. Just meeting people and talking to them is always fun anyway. So in Texas, there's, I think, 3 places up in the Dallas area. I know of 2 of them. I've shot at 2 of them. I think there's a 3rd one up there too. They kind of alternate around which place they're shooting at. At least it was a couple years ago. Since they probably haven't been shooting too much lately because of all the crap that goes on from all the COVID crap. But and then there's one it's over, well, the Arlington Sportsman's Club, which is in, oh, I can't think of the name of it now. It's southwest of Fort Worth, kind of. And then there's Pecan Plantation. I've shot at those 2 places. So, and then the 4th place is in Borney, Texas, which is west of San Antonio. And that's the only ones I know of in the Texas area. There could be some more. There might have some people started up, but me and another friend tried for 5 years to try to get something started up in this area, and we just couldn't muster up enough people to be interested in it. So, but anyway, basics of field target. Thanks for watching.